United USA 2020 and beyond.
That's the crisis on the border, the one in progress now, the one that will change this country for your grandchildren profoundly. In the fall of 2018, not long before that year's midterm elections, Donald Trump ordered a small group of active duty soldiers to the American border with Mexico. Congress had refused to build his long-promised wall, and Trump wanted to highlight the severity of the illegal immigration crisis, which has been going on for decades. In some ways, sending the troops was a symbolic gesture. Only about 5,000 participated. For perspective on how many that is far fewer, about half the number of troops that the Democratic Congress sent to Washington this winter to protect itself from an imaginary QAnon threat. But for those with a vested interest in open borders, virtually everyone in D.C., any military presence on our border was just too much. It was intolerable. Official Washington went...
So let's continue to take a look at this and go a little further.
Flagrantly violated our laws. The Biden administration is turning our military bases into housing for illegal aliens. If that sounds like a partisan attack, something we just made up, watch the president's own flack brag about it.
Just in this past week, we've taken steps to bring a number of new facilities online, from Fort Bliss, where there are 5,000 beds, to Lackland Air Force Base, where there are 350 beds, San Diego Convention Center, 1,400 beds. These three sites alone provide at peak capacity an additional 6,750 beds.
So you break into our country, and in return, we give you free housing and medical care. Pretty generous. What's interesting...
Break into our country, we give you free housing, medical care, driver's license, Social Security, and medical benefits. Medical benefits that even somebody like myself is struggling to get from the state. Just another point to point out. Yeah, there it is.
It's to note who's not getting that treatment. Last night, more than 500,000 Americans spent the night in makeshift shelters or on the streets. They're homeless. But the Biden administration isn't even considering the use of the U.S. military to help them, despite the fact that many are veterans. Instead, the administration is boasting about all they're doing for the people who have demonstrated pure contempt for our system, the system that some of us prefer and would like to preserve. The press conference we just played a clip from was 10 days ago. No one in the media seems to have bothered to follow up on that. Fort Bliss, for example, headquartered in El Paso, Texas, one of the largest Army bases on the planet. How many illegal aliens are now living at Fort Bliss? How many are there right now? And the truth is, we don't know. We asked authorities at Fort Bliss, point blank, that question today, but they refused to tell us. Instead, they referred us to their bosses in the Biden administration, to the political commissars. America has no right to know how many illegal aliens are living on our military bases. And neither, by the way, do elected members of Congress who are charged with overseeing all of this. But they can't know.
Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
We do know that Washington lies about numbers constantly. You see it everywhere. They tell us inflation isn't real. It's not happening. Look around. Yes, it is happening. It's entirely real. In the United States, when we know for a fact that the real number is closer to 3 times that. Yet they keep lying. 11 million. Plus, there are 11 million foreign nationals living in the United States. Border Protection data have confirmed to Fox News that officers so far have encountered 171,000 illegal immigrants in the month of March alone. In 1 month. That's a 418% increase from March of last year. But that does not represent the total of people who crossed over. Those are the ones who were caught. Those are just the ones that we know about. The real number is higher, much higher. How high is it? It's high enough to change this country forever in every conceivable way. It's high enough to devalue your political power as a voter. It's high enough to subvert democracy itself. It's high enough to make this country a different place. But again, we don't know the number. Why is that? We have absolutely the right to know. We should demand to know.
Okay, so we are the people, and we need to demand answers from our government. And if enough people speak up with a loud voice, that can happen. But it's not going to happen until enough people speak up. That's why we got to speak up now. How will this influx from the border affect America?